Hey guys, what's up? It's me, it's Anna. I'm back. Brand new freaking video, let's get it. Today I have Isle of Armor, tier list. So let's just get into this. So this is pretty much just, I think this is all Pokemon. This is going to be Draft League, formatted. I'm pretty much going to go tier by tier in this. I don't know from where. I think I might start with Band because that's going to be the most easiest one to do. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. So let's jump into the banned tier list. First we have Urshifu. Urshifu, I think, is going to get banned. And this is Sword and Shield meta, by the way. So Rude hasn't really come out yet, but I think it's going to get banned. And Magearna. I think these are the three Mon that are going to get straight away. Not straight away, but maybe like just... I think Magearna is going to get quick banned. And I think when Zarude comes out, I think it might stay for a little bit, but I think it's gonna eventually get banned. I think Urshifu is just broken for the meta. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't really have many counters, and it just does a lot of damage. Like, Scarf Urshifu is really good. I mean, it could be nearly banned, but I think it's gonna get banned. It's gonna end up getting banned. Magearna is just gonna be straight away banned. So, let's move on to nearly banned. As you can see, that went by really quickly. So, first I'm going to add... I think the water Urshifu. It's definitely worse than this, at least for not VGC, but for regular people like us. I think for Draft League it's gonna be nearly banned. This is pretty much the OP tier. The OP but not banned tier. So I definitely do think that can be a menace. I think Volcarona is also in this tier. It definitely has counters, but I feel like people are gonna be so upset with this Mon when it comes in, that they're gonna want to ban it. Another good example of a Mon like this is Scizor. Scizor is just a really solid Mon. I mean, it's probably one of the best Mons we've had so far. Does everything well, except for anything on the special side. So yeah, I mean, this Mon is just really good. But that's pretty much it for the nearly banned and banned section, I think. Yeah, so let's just move on to tier 1. So I'm just gonna go all, like, on the fly, just name some tier 1s that I think are, or name some Pokemon that I think are gonna be tier 1. Alakazam, Azumarill, Blissey, Chansey, Kingdra, no, not Crocodile yet. Let's just keep looking. Scolipede, Skarm, no, not Slowking yet. Starmie, Talonflame, Tangrowth. Okay, that's gonna be tier 1. So, most of these Mons, what they have in common is that they're pretty powerful. Be it defensively or offensively. They pretty much have, not really a gimmick, but they're just good at something. Alakazam, obviously, Magikarp Focus Sash or Magikarp Life Orb is really good. Bellydrum / Choice Banded Azumarill, really good. Tanky Blissey and Tanky Chansey, or Eviolite Chansey, really good. Kingdra in the rain, unstoppable. Scolipede with speed boost, crazy good. Skarmory, defensively, really good. Starmie has a rapid spin clear and just overall, just a really good, I guess, Spexmon. It's tier 1. Talonflame with Gale Wings, which isn't back to normal, but it's still really good. I think it gets dual wing beat, so now it has kind of a 120 base power move. Not necessarily 120, of course, but with counting stab bonus, it's pretty much a 120 base power move. And we have Tangrowth, and it's a middle ground between that and Brave Bird, and it gets heavy duty boots. And then we have Tangrowth, which is just a regenerator necessity. So let's move on to tier 2. So tier 2, we have Amoonguss, we have Kirk, we have, let me just quickly analyze these mons. We have Klefki, we have, possibly Lycanroc Dusk, Magnezone, we have Alolan, not Alolan Marowak yet, we have Mienshao, we have, Sharpedo, Slowbro, Slowking, and Galarian Slowbro, and Tauros, Tentacruel, and that's it. So these are all tier 2. These mons are mainly defensive. We have some definitely defensive mons. With Tentacruel and Liquid Ooze, we have Regenerator Amoonguss. We have somewhat defensive Crocodile if you want to run that. It can also Scarf. It's just not as good as the tier 1s. Klefki, very good defensively. It doesn't really have the best HP stat, which is what's holding it back. Lycanroc Dusk. This is obviously not an order of power, because if it was, I probably would have Crocodile and the Slowbro lines all on the top, and Magnezone also on the top. But Lycanroc, I think, might be low tier 2, maybe I think it could be tier 3, but I say low tier 2 because, I mean, it has really good speed with really good attack. It gets Sucker Punch, it gets a Cell Rock, it can clean up really well. I think this might be an underrated mon in tier 2. I can definitely see it slipping in tier 3, not in tier 4 though. Definitely don't think it's gonna be tier 4. Mienshao is very powerful. Magnezone Analytic is still good, but it's not as good as it was before, which is why it's not tier 1. Sharpedo is probably going to go under the radar. It got access to close combat and something else. It got Crunch, is Liquidation, Protect, like that's a set right there. And yeah, if it gets 1 speed boost and you're Adamant, you're pretty much going to clean. Slowbro, very good defensive tank, gets Teleport, Regenerator, same with Slowking, except on the other side. Slowbro, Galarian, Quick Draw, Quick Claw is going to be a lot of fun. Like, this mon is going to be relatively fun to play with, so I could definitely see it going up to tier 2. Could be tier 3, but I definitely do see a tier 2 Slowbro, especially because it could be mixed or it could be physical. Tauros, very fast for the metagame. I think it's 100 or 110 or something, and with very solid attacks, with a very solid attack stat. Tentacruel, Rapid Spinner with Liquid Ooze. I mean, I already mentioned it. It's very fast, very good. Next we have tier 3. So tier 3 is going to be massive. Comfy, Dragalge, I think maybe Alolan Executor could go in this tier. Golduck is not in this tier yet. Kangaskhan, Licky Licky, Lycanroc, I think Dawn, Lycanroc Day, and Lycanroc Midnight. Alolan Marowak, Miltank, Palossand, Pinsir, Politoed, Poliwrath, wait, I forgot. Oh, Porygon Z is in tier 2, by the way. Porygon 2. I think Scyther could be tier 3. And Zoroark. Those are all tier 3 mons. Zoroark could be tier 2. I could definitely see it. It's just very frail. I mean, that's its downside. And its only priority move is like Sucker Punch compared to a Cell Rock, which just hits. Comfy. Pretty much most of these mons do excel in one thing. Really only one thing though. For like some exceptions, of course, you have Alolan Marowak and Miltank are, I think, the only exceptions. Maybe Porygon 2, maybe Scyther, and maybe Alolan Executor, and Dragalge. Dragalge could possibly be tier 2. I think I'm putting it tier 2. I think I'll talk about Dragalge then right now. It gets adaptability with Poison Touch and Poison Point, which are pretty good abilities, and it's a nuke. It just nukes. Yeah, I mean, this mon is going to be really good, especially with Assault Vest, and with the specs, and all the brand new items, and lack of Pokemon, lack of counters, I feel. So yeah, I could definitely see it tier 2. It could be tier 3. I wouldn't be shocked if it was tier 3, but I could definitely see this mon rising in popularity and eventually becoming a tier 2, because it's just so good in tier 3. But yeah, tier 3 really only excel in one thing. If they excel in 2 things or 3 things, then those 3 combined equal one really good thing. For example, Comfy is a really good, like, it abuses its ability Triad, where like draining moves get priority. So Draining Kiss gets priority, Giga Drain gets priority. It takes full advantage of that, and it's really good for that. I haven't really used Alolan Executor, but I'm pretty sure it's really good in Trick Room, and has high attack stats. Like, that's really it. Kangaskhan, really good sweeper with Band and Scarf. Licky Licky's a healer, Cleric, and if it wants, it can go Banded, but it's not that good in that, and it can use Swords Dance. Lycanroc Day has a little worse stats than Midday, and for that it's in tier 3. Lycanroc Dusk has no guard, but I mean, it's very similar to Lycanroc Day, except for no guard and less speed and more power. Alolan Marowak is gonna go under the radar. It might be tier 2. I honestly might. I mean, as you saw, I debated putting it in tier 2, but I think it's tier 3. It doesn't really lack a moveset. It got Poltergeist, which is huge. Like, this mon's a very solid tier 3 mon. Miltank, very good. Very good, with Scrappy, and Thick Fat, and Sap Sipper. It gets Rocks, Milk Drink, and just Body Slam, and, I think Body Press. Like, it just gets a bunch of moves. Palo Sandwich might go under the radar, it might be a tier 4. But, I mean, this mon gets Scorching Sand now. It gets recovery options with Shore Up. Its ability Water Compact raises its defense twice. I mean, you can't go wrong with this mon at all, I feel. Next we have Pinsir. Pinsir, Sweeper. I mean, it's just a sweeper with low speed. Unfortunately, 85 speed, or 80 speed is not bad, but it's too low. Politoed sets up Rain. This could be tier 2. This could honestly be tier 2. I just don't think it's as powerful as Pelipper. But, I mean, it's kind of Pelipper on the special side. It could be in tier 2. It could be. But I just don't think it's as good as any of these Pokemon in tier 2. Poliwrath, very good Rain Sweeper now. It got CC, and it can abuse Swift Swim. With Bulk Up and all that. Porygon 2, I haven't really used, but I know for a fact it's Eviolite. It's like Porygon Z, but it uses Eviolite, which is crazy. Yeah, I mean, it gets pretty much the same stuff. Scyther, Eviolite, or Heavy Duty Boots, it's going to be really good in tier 3. And Zoroark, Illusion, and high special attack and attack stats with high speed. I think it's very simple why it would be tier 3. Yeah. Next we have tier 4. So tier 4, Clauncher. Honestly, Clauncher is going to be tier 3. Dedenne, Bouffalant, Executor, Exploud. Whoa, I forgot to put Heracross in tier 3. It gets Spikes, Guts, and all that. Golduck, Lopunny, Luxray, Magneton. Maybe Magneton should be in tier 3, but I don't know. Marowak, Sandslash, Stoutland, Tangela, and Wigglytuff. So, some of these mon could be tier 5. I mean, Wigglytuff, I've done now 3 different videos on this, and they all got interrupted, but for the most part, I believe Wigglytuff could be a good tier 4. If it's not in tier 4, it would be a really good tier 5. Gets access to a lot of moves, it gets Wish, gets Toxic, it just gets a bunch of stuff that it could play with. It just doesn't really have the best stats for it. Tangela, Regenerator, Eviolite, It's very solid. I don't think I need to explain much more on it. Stoutland, it lost most of its normal moves, so it doesn't really get normal stab moves, so it can't really take advantage of that Scrappy. I do think it's going to be fairly good. It could be tier 3. Like I said before, a lot of these mons I originally had in tier 3, I just forget. Sandslash, this mon is going to go under the radar. I mean, it gets some moves. It gets a Rapid Spin, it gets Scorching Sands if it wants to go special, more tanky. You have, what else? You have Stealth Rocks, you have Spikes. I mean, this one is very good defensive and utility-wise. Marowak is very similar to Sandslash, I think. It gets Rocks, I know that for a fact. It's just a solid Pokemon, I think, in my opinion. I mean, it could be tier 5, but I think in this metagame, I think it would slide under the radar and go tier 4. Luxray, this could also be tier 5. Probably not, but I mean, Guts, it just does not have a speed stat. It can definitely take advantage of Guts. I'm not saying it can't, but I mean, it's just not going to be able to take advantage of Guts when something outspeeds it and hits it. It's frail. Like, Lopunny does actually have a gimmick. If it didn't have a gimmick, it wouldn't be tier 4, it'd probably be tier 5, but it can baton pass stats. It gets Cosmic Power, gets probably Calm Mind, it probably gets, maybe Bulk Up. It just gets a lot, it gets Agility, like, it can stat pass a bunch of things, so it's just gonna, I think we all know it's just gonna do some stuff in there. Golduck is a Swift Swimmer, another Rain Abuser, but very not the best stats with okay coverage. I think that's all I have to say about it. Exploud, a lot of people think Exploud's gonna be good. I really don't see how Exploud is gonna be good, because Exploud has good HP, it has good attack stats, but it's not very frail, but it just doesn't have high defense stats, and it's not fast. So I don't see how it could be like tier 3 or something. Executor is a Sun Sweeper. It can do that stuff, it just doesn't have much coverage, and I think below an Executor it gets a lot more coverage. It gets Dragon coverage now, as well as Psychic coverage, so yeah, I mean, Alone Executor can also Trick Room and all that jazz, so yeah. Bouffalant is very similar to Taurus. It's not fast, but it's more bulky, and for that reason, it has to go in the lower tier, because, I mean, you can just switch in a, like, physical attacker or special attacker, and just Focus Blast it, or Focus Punch it, or Aura Sphere, or something. Yeah, I mean, substituting defense for power, or substituting speed for more bulk is, I don't think that's a good trade-off. I mean, unless you really need that bulk, or if you have that bulk, you become a lot better of a Pokemon. I don't think Bouffalant does that. And Dedenne, I don't know why this is tier 4. Why did I put that there? But yeah, that's tier 4. Next we have tier 5. Tier 5 we have Dedenne, Druddigon, Dunsparce, Emolga, Lilligant, Lurantis, and Alolan Sandslash. So why are these all tier 5? They don't have power at all. I mean, here, let me just quickly search up their stats. So Dedenne is very frail, has 101 speed, 67 HP, 58 attack, 57 defense, 81 special attack, 67 Spadef, and 101 speed. Very frail mod with only 100 speed is never going to get you anywhere. This mod just is not good as some of its counterparts. Next we have Druddigon, which Druddigon has pretty good stats. I mean, 77 HP with 120 attack, 90 defense, 60 special attack, 90 Spadef. Why is this mod not good then? It only has 48 speed, which could be good for Trick Room, but, and it is a tanky mon, but I mean, it really does, it can't utilize that attack stat if it's gonna get knocked out by an Ice Beam, like, or a Play Rough. This mon is too slow. It definitely wants to be a sweeper, but it just can't be a sweeper. It does get rocks, though. Like, it's all over the place. Dunsparce, I mean, do I even need to say why? 100 speed with, like, 70 attacks, 60 defenses, and 45 speed. That's just not a good mon. Emolga, very similar to the Dene. I'm pretty sure it's, like, 109 speed. And then more frail stats, like, it's not really an upgrade. It can defog, which is good, but I mean, that's the only reason you would bring it, for defog volt switching. Like, that's really it. Lilligant, it gets Quiver Dance, which is good, but unlike Venomoth, it doesn't really have a good ability that can utilize Quiver Dance, like Venomoth's Tinted Lens, which doubles not very effective moves to make them, I think, just neutral or super effective. Like, crazy. That's a great ability. But, you know, you wish. Lurantis could honestly be a tier 4 mon. I mean, I can see why you might substitute Lurantis and Tangela, or Lurantis and Marowak, or Lurantis and Wigglytuff, but, yeah, I mean, this mon is way too slow. Let's look at Lurantis' stats. Lurantis has 70 HP, 105 attack, 90 defense, not bad so far. 80 special attack, it's okay, it's usable. 90 Spadef, which is pretty good, so not bad bulk. But only 45 speed is not what you want from this mon. You definitely wanted this mon to be a sweeper. And it gets contrary, which is good, but it doesn't really have stats that can utilize that. I mean, like, or moves that can really utilize that. It gets superpower, which, I mean, like, everyone gets that. It gets Leaf Storm, so it can abuse its special attack. Like I said before, it's superpower. If it gets Curse, that would be cool. It does get Defog, so I guess it can also have another use, but, I mean, why would you even do that then? Like, I don't really get the appeal of this mon. Yeah, I mean, it can't really utilize its ability, and it could be good under grassy terrain against grassy glide, but yeah, I mean, this mon just isn't that good. And Alolan Sandslash is actually worse than Sandslash. Even though it does have better stat distribution, its typing is terrible. Ice Steel, I'm pretty sure you're weak. I know you're weak to ground, fire, rock is neutral now, which I guess is an improvement. But I mean, no, it's not, because regular Sandslash resists rock. It resists fire. Well, I don't know if it resists fire, but maybe it does resist fire. Like, I feel like it's just very disappointing. It has 120 defense, which is, I think, an improvement over Sandslash. I think Sandslash has like 110, but its typing is terrible because you're weak to fire, you're weak to ground. You have a lot of resistance, or not a lot of resistances. You have a lot of weaknesses that will very negatively affect you because of how common those weaknesses are. Fire, so Libero Cinderace can kill you, Turtonator can kill you, and Turtonator's like a tier 4 or tier 5 mon. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but this mon's just not going to be good for this. But yeah, that's going to be my tier list. I hope you like it, I hope you enjoy, I hope you subscribe, I hope you do all that stuff, that great stuff for me. But yeah, I mean, this is what I think's gonna happen. I don't know if some of these Pokemon would be tier 2 or tier 3, like Dragalge could definitely fall back to tier 3. Same with Porygon Z. Porygon 2 might drop a tier. Heracross might rise to tier 2. And so could Politoed. Some ones can fall, like Lycanroc Dusk, and Wigglytuff, and Magneton, and Marowak. All those mons can fall, but I think overall, I've painted a good picture of what Draft League is going to look like for the next few months, next 4 or 5 months, until we get the DLC Part 2, which is going to have, I believe, fossils, starters. Like, we're going to get some pretty good stuff in these next few iterations. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope you give this video a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Peace out, boys.